Sammy was born in 2005, and my older son David was 4. And he was this amazing baby. He loved animals and sort of tromping around outside, digging for bugs.
He was such an incredible child, just vibrant and smiling and laughing. And he literally has 2 younger siblings because he was that good a baby.
Yeah, 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 yeah. Hi. Yeah, yeah. Oh. Hi.
In the spring of 2012, he was in kindergarten. It was May. I actually remember the day. It was the morning of his piano recital. He woke up in the morning and he said, "My arms hurt." And I said, "Your arms hurt?" And he said, "My arms hurt." And I said, "Well, you'll be fine to play piano." And he said, "Yeah, I think so." And he went, his arms hurt. And then sort of the next day, his legs hurt. And, you know, we didn't really know what was going on. Waited a couple days, called the doctor.
It was one of those things where you thought it was growing pains as a parent, and we would stay up with him all night, and we would try to ice it and heat it and make him feel comfortable and give him Tylenol and something, thinking that it would just dissipate. The doctors eventually gave him some steroids, and it dissipated the pain for a week. And finally, when it was in the 3rd week and we had no idea what was going on and it clearly wasn't going away and x-rays weren't showing anything, one of the doctors just said, "You need an MRI."
And the resident looked at us and said, "So I just spoke to the oncologist on call." And I thought, why would you have to call an oncologist? That was the beginning of really understanding that something big was happening. And they had seen something on the MRI. So we just want you to come back on Monday for a bone marrow biopsy.
Turned out to be leukemic cells in his bone marrow that were pressing out so much that he could feel the pain and feel the pressure from inside.
The team walked in and said, "It's leukemia." It was like the whole world caved in. Sam, you have Fusobacterium necrophorum. Can you say that?
Fusobacterium research.
Try it again. Fusobacterium.
Fusobacterium
necrophorum. Now say it all.
Fusobacterium necrophorum.
Again.
Blah, blah, blah.
And so he did these 4 rounds of chemo. It came to be about 6 months. And then in November they said, "You're done. He's good. He's done." They never used the word cured. That's not the language, but he's in remission and he's off treatment. And they took out his central line, and it felt like we'd been freed from something. I remember that first weekend taking him to a trampoline place because that was something he had missed so much. And he bounced around. He started taking gymnastics classes and went back to school, and everything was great.
I'm Spider-Man.
And then at the beginning of March, he had some pains in his legs again. And I remember that day he called me from school. I can hear his voice saying, "Mom, it hurts, and it kind of hurts like before." And he said, "I just hope it's not leukemia." The fact that my then 7-year-old could say to me, "I hope it's not leukemia," I didn't even know how to deal with that. So I said, "I hope it's not leukemia too." And then we ended up taking him in for an x-ray during the week just to clear things out. And then on Friday, he was in a lot of pain. And I took him up to the hospital, and they looked at me and said, "Well, we need to do a biopsy to be sure, but we're pretty sure he's relapsed." When you relapse with the kind of leukemia Sam had, which is acute myeloid leukemia, or AML, when you relapse, the treatment is bone marrow transplant. That's really all they've got. The decision was made to use an unmatched, unrelated donor to give the leukemia and the donor something to fight about. And on August 27th, he had his transplant. And it went really quite well. I mean, he never got really sick. He handled everything, and he engrafted the new marrow, made a home. And then near the end of September, so about 30 days after his transplant, tested, he was in remission. We felt like this huge weight okay, we did it. Here we go. We got him through the worst of the transplant. We got him into remission. We're good.
Pre-transplant, he was strong, even with the chemo, was between 50 and 80% throughout his body, and still trying to get it down to hopefully 0, which never happened. I think 20% was the closest we got it after he came out of remission. And he just went on with life. We'd go to the zoo every day. He loved Dave and Buster's. He'd go play the video games. He enjoyed every moment he could.
At the beginning of November, there were a few little bumps on his head. We didn't really know what that was. And then a week later, there was something wrong with his mouth and his gums. And then there was something on his blood smear. And they did a biopsy to confirm. And the leukemia had returned, kind of with a vengeance. And there was really very little that they could do. He was too soon after transplant to retransplant. It was possible that we could do more chemo, but we knew that nothing would get rid of the leukemia. They don't have that kind of, they don't know what else to do. And we made the decision. He hated being admitted to the hospital. He had spent so much time inpatient. We said we don't want to do anything that would keep him in the hospital. So we planned some trips and spent as much time as we could with him and giving him what he wanted in life, as much as we could. And December 14th. He was 8. I had heard about the St. Baldrick's Foundation. That's sort of a mainstay in the childhood cancer community. And I'm looking at a Facebook picture from St. Baldrick's of these sports players who are shaving their heads. And I looked at it and I reposted it and I wrote something about how every player in the NFL and the NBA and the NHL, they should all be shaving their heads. This is a cause they should all be getting behind. Maybe the time has come for me to shave my head. Who's with me? Right away, one of my dearest friends, Rebecca Shore, she wrote back, I'm in. There's this back and forth conversation on this post. Maybe we should get a whole bunch of rabbis to shave with us. And I said, and then we started throwing out, okay, how about 36 rabbis? 36 being kind of a mystical Jewish number, right? 18 being the number life, the Hebrew letters equaling that number, so 18, and then 36 being double life.
We figured if we can get 36 colleagues to shave their heads for the Central Conference of American Rabbis annual convention, it would be powerful, and we'd raise some money, and it'd be amazing. It
snowballed immediately. We got so many people who wanted to do it with us because so many people felt helpless. So many people felt like there wasn't anything they could do, but raising money for research seemed like the right thing to do. And rabbis are people who want to stand as examples to their community, and this was something that was so simple for us to do, although less simple for the women in the group, I think.
We stood together as one community of religious leaders, showing our communities how we can actually have one opinion on something and make a difference and show the world that we may not change our outcome, but if this is the beginning of changing the outcome for anyone else, then that makes all the difference.
It just became this really incredible outpouring of love and commitment to a cause that became so near and dear to our family.
I don't think St. Baldrick's was prepared for what we brought, and so they've really honored us by allowing us to continue the fundraising throughout the year and try to raise as much as we can.
We did this because I can't bear the idea that other families are going to hear what we heard from our doctors.
The last real thing he said to me, kissing him goodnight, was he said, David, Dad's kisses on a bald head are amazing. You should try it. And that was, So maybe that would give him acceptance of what Phyllis's hair looks like, and he would kiss her on her bald kepi and feel the fuzzies and see what she was willing to do.
So Sammy would have said, "Oh, these people really doing this?" I can sort of envision him, but I think he would have made fun of me. I'm not sure how he would have felt about seeing me with my head shaved. I think he would have laughed. I think he probably would have been up on the stage shaving my head. I think he would have really gotten a kick out of the whole thing. And I think he would have really, really liked the idea that we were helping other kids.